Hello YouTubers! Before we get started on this video, the music you hear in the background, I don't own any rights to it. It's whatever's playing on my radio. So, we're up here on my old lathe, as you can tell by the big old belt right here. Now, I did a lot of the machine work before I got the camera. So, what are we doing exactly? We're turning this old bolt that I had laying around for a while. We're going to turn this into an arbor for one of these. These are like something you can get. It's a wire wheel that goes on your grinder. Well, I've had this on a grinder. These ain't made for grinders. So what I'm doing here, I'm turning down this end here to make it the same size as one of these. Now you're probably going to be saying, well, hey, Jake, why don't you just use these? Well, I spent the money for one of these. Now, I'm probably going to spend more money on getting these. And these things here last longer than these little guys do on a drill. So that's what we're using it for a drill. So I went in, I found a bolt that has the same thread. Don't ask me the thread count, because I don't know. Same thread as this wheel. So, I found the bolt, sawed it off to be the correct length. I sat here with my, I want to say calipers, but these aren't my calipers. And sat here and measured the shank on the end of this shaft, which, sorry for the lighting, it's a quarter inch. We'll call it that. Now the measurements are not, I don't know the measurements, I'm just going by look. Big thing with this lathe is oil. This lathe is so old it has Babbitt bearings in it. So occasionally you're going to see me come over here and slap a bit of oil up in these cups here. I don't have drip oilers yet. I am looking into getting some for this. So let's shut up and start doing the lathe work here. So let's get started. Now this lathe here, being old as could be, and so I mean I'm lifting that chuck up a good 3/1000. It's pretty wore out. I don't have the money to go and get this thing redone. So, to get her started, you gotta pull on this, get some RPM going, and then flick it on. Little switch right here by my hand. Now this lathe does have auto feed in this direction and this direction. So, I'm gonna zoom you guys in on the work. Again, I'm going to apologize now for the light. I can't really see well in the dark because my glasses are all sunglass size. So, we're going to get started. Brush off some of the old chips. Touch it. Alright, I'm going to pull this back a bit, turn off the lathe. Use my hand to stop it. There's enough there for me to take a measurement. So I'm just gonna, sorry if I'm in the shot. I take my lathe work seriously and I'm a little high this cut. A little low now. That's better. Alright. Kick her on. I know I didn't pull the belt over on that. I just realized it. I'm going to put a tad bit of oil on there. I'm using straight 30 weight with some STP in it. Alright. I'm going to turn on the auto feed. I'm just going to let it go on its own. Now I need to back up because it's stuck cutting. Now I'm taking awfully big passes because I want to remove the most amount of this material as possible. And now the chips are going quite nicely. I like how this is cutting now. This lathe here, a little history on it. Back in its heyday, these things here, that roller back here would be up on your ceiling. And up here, there'll be one of these big belts just going straight up. Well, over here is the roller. And it would just run off like a big huge shaft and stuff. Let's turn that off the measure. And what drove those big huge shafts were either big huge steam engines, like maybe a 6-horse steam engine, which is big for its age, or what my grandfather had to run this lathe in its heyday was a upright Oliver 5, I think it was like a 5.5 horse hit and miss engine. You could get like a Bessemer or something to run these. It's getting there. But you get the idea. They had old hit and miss engines or big steam engines run these lathes. And they wouldn't just run a lathe. They would run like a milling machine, a shaper, a drill press, a planer, different tools. And they would all be running off one shaft with one motor. Alright, let's pull this. I'm really close now. I'm not going to edit this, so you guys get an idea how long it's taken me to do this. My roll cam. Now you're supposed to use cutting oil, but cutting oil is too expensive. So I'm going to let that run. Just going to run some oil on the bearings real quick. Alright. There. We're running as slow as second slowest this lathe can go. The slowest speed on it. And then just a hand on it a bit. But we ain't gonna stop here. Once I get this all wire wheeled, I'm gonna use this stuff. Rust-Oleum truck bed liner coating. I love this stuff. All my tractors have this on there, like under the wheel, under the fenders, or on the mower decks, or underneath them. So, and plus the gas bike has it on its fenders. That stuff there, it's almost, you can't scratch it. I mean, and the possibilities with it is endless. I mean, look, I done my phone case in it. I have a nice sturdy grip on the edge here, and it'll stick to anything. I mean, this is aluminum, and it sticks around that case. So, let's again shut up and get the work done. Here's our adapter. Let me just. Here's our little adapter. I have it bolted in. We just made this adapter too, so it just slides right up in that drill and boom. I'm going to use a cheap Harbor Freight drill for this. Because granted, I know nothing else that'll work well. So I'm just going to move you guys right here. We also have our... Oh, wait a minute, I got to loosen up the... We also have a bench in here from over at the house. I'm going to sand it up for a buddy of mine and get it finished for him. Move you guys back. Now, this adapter here, you can only go in one direction with it, and that is clockwise. I got it sitting on a crate. Now, I'm going to put my foot in here to lock it down. I'm going to mostly be working up in here. Your goal is to get bare metal, but with the bed liner, it doesn't get down. You don't have to get absolutely bare, clean metal. Like right up in here, you can see there's like rust dust, and there's some pitting. I mean, that there would be fine. If you get over here, like over on this edge here where there's paint, that's fine as long as it's roughed up. You can get some grip on it. So, I haven't tried this yet, so we're gonna learn together. So hope it don't break on me. Gotta switch feet here. There we go. As you can see, I just done this whole bottom piece here, and it didn't take very long. So I'm going to call this little tool here a complete success. Now, this is not just limited to this little wire wheel here. Anything that you can bolt onto your standard grinder will work with this adapter. Now, you could probably go out and buy one of these adapters next to nothing, or to go out and buy them. But what's the point of buying them when you got a good old lathe, some time, and an idea in your head? So, now another little thing, if you're using these wire wheels, these little wires here fling off at pretty high speeds. So wear good thick pair of jeans with some thick clothing. Don't have any bare skin sticking out. Trust me, these wires come out and I had one go right through my skin and had to go to the hospital and have one pulled out. Eye protection, desperately need that because you don't want to have your eye poked out.